it had a tree growing around it, or like the tree was kind of fused with it around. And at the base of that tree, there was like a little village. And that village had like little houses that were embedded within it, like little burrows, like, you know, like the Shire from Lord of the Rings type stuff. And it had a little fence around it, but the fence was just symbolic. It wasn't limiting anything. And then I came there, and I saw this lady, like an old lady, like a wise old woman, sage, grandma type lady, just sitting there. Everyone else was somewhere else. The homes were empty, some of them were closed. And the lady was sitting there in like a meditation pose, like a lotus pose, just sitting there. And she welcomed me. She said hi. And she kind of observed me, and we looked at each other a few minutes, seconds, I don't know. And she was sitting on like a blanket. Oh wow, so many bugs. Okay, I'm gonna have to walk. So, she was sitting on this blanket of sorts, and she asked me if I have rolling papers. And in the dream I felt like that is like a test. I don't know why, but... And then I gave her the rolling papers, which I had. And after she took them from me, she said, okay, like you pass this weird test or whatever. It was almost like she just wanted to know if I'm like friendly, and that was it. And then after I passed that test, she went in one of the houses, and she just pointed me in the direction of someone else. And that someone else was another lady, and she was next to that door of that fence. And I came to her, and she was like, I was expecting you, and something like that. And she told me, so this is the whole point of the dream. So those of you who stayed around until we got to this most important point, I commend you for listening to me slowly. And she said that within each of us, within our ears, if you will, within our heads, lives a being that lives simultaneously, so at the same time lives in all beings. And once humanity is ready, they will be able to hear her. And she used the pronoun her. And she said it's like it's like I got the feeling, actually, not she didn't say that, but I got the feeling like it's a big Wi-Fi signal that connects all beings, and it goes like inside your ears. And why this? Okay, let's sit down here. Why this? Why this video is titled Channels is that she said that the reason why humanity can't listen to her and can't hear, it's like a symbiosis, you know, like mushrooms and other organisms, or like water. Some fish have like these other little fish that live on it. So in that sense, we also live within that, within her, within that being, that kind of etheric type creature that's almost like, so she explained that she's like a guide, that she's like this backup that you can tune into if you want. And the basic thing she said is that humanity can't listen to her, they're not ready, is because a lot of other things are disrupting the air around us, and we have too many other channels that we are tuned into, and her channel is very quiet, and it requires no distractions and no outside noise, so it's an inner channel. And as she was saying that, next to me started appearing like a creature, like an ear character, like a huge ear character, and it wasn't anything like I've ever seen. It was like a big blob of it was very organic. It reminded me that like life is the greatest technology. Life is, it reminded me that we sometimes perceive ourselves as like very artificial, very of this modern world, very square, very angular, and like buildings, like technology, very artificial, where we while we are definitely organic. And anyways, so that other part, I felt that it was me. I felt the other part was me, but it was me, and it's in my fully organic state where I could absorb the environment and breathe it in and breathe it out, and be like symbiotic with the environment around me, with the earth, with that voice that's like a big cloud, you know, like cloud in a sense of like internet cloud, that just envelops your head and all the heads of all other living beings. And because there are so many other channels that are jamming this signal, and because it takes patience and it takes solitude, it takes like going into in the forest and just shutting up and sitting down, and you know, like waiting for that voice. That's not gonna be words. It's not gonna be. It's just gonna be a feeling, a new kind of feeling. And yeah, like the main point was that she said like, she said she doesn't know when or if it's gonna happen, but I believe it will. That humanity will be ready to hear that voice, because in order to hear that voice and to allow it to kind of synthesize with you, you have to give up a lot of what you thought you were. You have to give up a lot of constructs, mental constructs about individuality. Of course, this world is about being individual, and you have your own life in order to be differentiated, in order to be different. But in a grand scheme of things, we are like cells within a huge organism. And we have this individual aspect of us, but we also have this great collective species aspect of us that connects us on a totally different level. I think the lesson from that dream is to take some time to tune out all other channels, so internet and other people and the noise from the city and the noise like from electrical devices and the noise from your own mind. Like, take enough time in nature to just try to listen to like a guide, an inner intelligence that connects all living beings. It's like in the air at all times and is there for you if you want to live alongside it, if you want to be in symbiosis with it, if you want to follow it in a sense. Not in a cultish sense, but more of like a gentle helper sense that's here all the time, but it takes silence within you to recognize that voice. I'm definitely in the process of painting that dream. I've made some sketches about the monument from afar, and like that dream, like that monument, it was just so surreal and not of this world. Like, or maybe in the past it was something so big, like in terms of the Great Pyramids, and there were people living there, like coexisting with that voice, with nature. And I was just like a little visitor in that past time or the future time. And that lady wanted me to pass that test, and I passed it. It was funny, but like that's just my subconscious, I guess, of metabolism and bowling herbs and stuff like that. And then that other lady, to conclude this video, I think the practical advice would be to live in society and to tune into all these channels when it's required, when you feel like it, but also have balance of tuning out of society in general, going outside to any place that hasn't been touched, and tuning out even friends for a little while, tuning out every single voice except trying to hear that silent voice of that creature, of that silent helper, and then live on the edge, live on that slack line of listening to your own channel and to her channel, and then listening to whatever outside information from the world you want to take in. And definitely in this time right now, the outside channels are very they spread a lot of fear. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of information in general, a lot of data to process, which can be very difficult all at once, and you need to integrate it very quickly in order to keep up with the world. But there's no need for that, in a sense. Those voices, those channels, if you tune into those channels, they can give you some info, but the main info is within you. The main info is in nature. The main info is intuition you get. The main info is in that silence when you tune out, when you turn off all the other channels, and try to listen to that one. And if it comes, maybe there will be some defensiveness, maybe the ego won't allow it to integrate, but just be patient, just slowly, and maybe you will start shedding old past beliefs, and old fears can maybe disappear, and you can maybe begin to trust nature more, like it's holding you on a palm, like you're very precious, and it's supporting you. Yeah. That's it for today. See ya next time.